local news leader. This is KTTC News.
A Wisconsin brewing company wants to see former President Donald Trump barred from the state's ballot. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brock Burgee. First for you here at 5, Minocqua Brewing Company owner Kirk Bangstead filed a complaint with the Wisconsin Elections Commission to attempt to keep Trump off Wisconsin's primary ballot. Right after filing, the commission announced it tossed out the complaint. That was due to a connection with one of the commissioners. Robert Spindell was one of 10 Republicans who signed certificates back in 2020 falsely stating that Trump had won Wisconsin. Therefore, the commission tells our sister station in Madison it has recused itself.
Merrick Garland spent a year and a half not doing anything to try to prosecute Donald Trump, and our attorney at the federal level, and our Attorney General Josh Kaul has not yet to do anything to hold those members of the Wisconsin politicians of Wisconsin, Ron Johnson, Tom Tiffany, Scott Fitzgerald, accountable for being part of the conspiracy to overthrow our election.
So what's next? Well, the brewery owner plans to file a complaint in courts. Meteorologist David Burgett joins us now live from our weather patio. David, we were talking that even though it's cooler out there than what we've been used to the past few days, this is still above average for this time of year.
Yes, Brock, it is. Well, it is above average here in Rochester. We did see 50s here on Christmas, but now we're seeing temperatures just below freezing in the 30s. Typically, for this time of year, our high should be around 24 to 25 degrees as we make our way into 2024 now. But we're seeing temperatures in Rochester just below freezing at 31 degrees, but don't be fooled. We have winds out of the north-northwest at 18 miles per hour that's making it feel like 19 degrees outside, so it is chilly outside even though our air temperature is warmer. Temperatures around the region are going to be into the mid to lower 30s for our temperatures right now. We are going to be seeing a lot of cloud coverage slowly start to dissipate through tonight actually right now, but we could be seeing some more mostly cloudy skies overnight and decreasing through the overnight hours. There's a lot of snowfall that's moving off to our south into central Iowa for us for tonight. We are going to be dry through the overnight hours for us, but our winds that are around 15 miles per hour through the next 2 hours here is going to be slowly dropping through. Tonight, by the time we get to midnight, will be around 10 to 11 miles per hour. So it's going to be a little breezy and a little bit colder overnight. But what we're tracking here for this weekend is that we're going to be seeing a chance for some stray snow chances on Saturday night into Sunday morning potentially. And we also going to be tracking more milder temperatures and sunshine as we make our way into the start of 2024. I'll be breaking down that snow chance for us in the next forecast.
David, thank you. We'll see you soon. Well, this morning, the Beltrami County Sheriff's Office in northern Minnesota received a call for yet another ice rescue on Red Lake. The situation there today marks 7 rescues on the lake so far this season. KTTC's Quinn Gorham tonight explains why the poor conditions have officials pleading with folks to be safe on the ice.
It's not every December that you see 50 degrees and rain on Christmas in Minnesota. That's precisely why the Minnesota DNR and other public safety agencies are advising caution out on the ice.
By this time of year, Minnesota's lakes have usually locked up pretty well. But this year, just days before the new year, ice rescues are still being performed in places like Upper Red Lake. Law enforcement offices like the Beltrami County Sheriff's Office say they're used to seeing vehicles out on the lake by this time of the year. Still, Thursday morning, the department says an ATV went through the ice. In a year where the weather has been anything but normal, the Minnesota DNR says it's a good reminder that the calendar doesn't determine ice safety.
It's especially important this year that people look at the weather conditions and not the calendar. Unfortunately, the ice is not strong enough right now for wheelhouses and ATVs in most places, and so people need to just be patient and wait for stronger ice before they venture out.
The DNR also says it's important to check ice conditions regularly, as changing weather and new cracks can make previously safe areas unsafe.
It seems the motto this time of year for the Minnesota DNR is no amount of ice can ever be considered truly safe. And that seems to be the motto going into the new year as well, as public safety agencies across the state say to watch your step as you're out on the ice. Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
Good news to report about today's incident. There were no injuries out on Red Lake, and the situation was resolved before public safety crews could respond to the scene. If you live in Albert Lea and are looking for a place to get rid of your Christmas tree, the city has a solution. Through January 6th, the city of Albert Lea will have 2 tree drop locations for residents, one of them located at Frank Hall Park, the other at the transfer station on Richway Drive. The service is free of charge and ensures trees are disposed of in an environmentally friendly manner. Be sure, though, to remove all decorations from your tree before dropping it off. To Austin now, where flapper dresses and pinstripe suits are welcome for an upcoming event. The Hormel Historic Home is hosting a New Year party called the Roaring 20s. It's on Saturday, January 6th from 7 to 11 p.m. Tickets required for this fundraising event featuring music, dancing, and hors d'oeuvres. The Hormel Historic Home is a nonprofit organization. Its mission is to honor the Hormel family's legacy of hospitality, music, education, and community service in Austin. Doctors are warning asthma patients about a big change coming to inhalers. Starting January 1st, the asthma inhaler Flovent, made by GSK, will disappear from pharmacy shelves. Physicians say an authorized generic version to take its place will work just as well. However, it doesn't appear to be covered as widely by insurers. Doctors are urging patients to take action now to get new prescriptions if needed and sort out coverage issues, especially since it's respiratory virus season. Industry insiders say GSK is discontinuing Flovent due to Medicaid rebate changes that would force the company to pay large penalties for hiking up prices. As we prepare for 2024, New Year's resolutions are, of course, front and center. A common one, of course, is to focus on fitness. 125 Live in Rochester often offers dozens of exercise classes, and one that's gained a lot of popularity is called cardio drumming. This is something that's been going on for several years now at 125 Live. Here's how it works. You place an exercise ball into a laundry basket, and then you take 2 drumsticks and drum along to the music following an instructor. It's that simple. 125 staff members say the class is a big hit.
It brings a lot of people together. Plus, we have the music that helps everybody relax. And you have more people that is experienced than others, but me personally, I just try to make everybody feel as one so we can all have fun together and we have a little sweat, have a little camaraderie.
I like that, a little sweat. Cardio drumming classes are happening every day except for Thursdays. If you are interested in signing up for a membership at 125 Live, just head over to our website, KTTC.com. Tonight on Dateline, the investigation after a young mother who feared she was being stalked goes missing. Here's a preview.
It had now been nearly a week since LaJoya had gone silent. With a clock ticking loudly in her head, LaJoya's mom again called police. Officers made a 3rd trip to LaJoya's apartment, and this time they forced their way in.
I went in through the window. I yelled who I was, yelled for LaJoya, no answer.
Detective Harvey opened the front door for his partner.
As we did, we entered, still announcing our presence. Nobody was inside.
What's it look like in there?
It's clean, doesn't look like anything out of the normal. Some clothes laying around, just normal everyday things.
Then they looked in the main bedroom, where it didn't look normal at all.
I noticed that there's blood stains on the carpet. I then noticed blood stains on the mattress and blood spatter on the wall.
And all of LaJoya's bedding was gone.
And she's missing.
Well, you've been doing this a while. What are the odds that that person who was missing is still alive?
We like to think that they are. We don't know that they aren't.
That complete story unfolds right here on Dateline on KTTC beginning at 9 o'clock. And a reminder for you once again, the countdown is on for the 70th annual Eagles Cancer Telethon on KTTC. All of the money raised during the 20-hour live event stays right here in Minnesota. Please join us on January 13th and 14th as we raise hope and awareness for cancer research. Still ahead for you tonight at 5, Republican presidential hopeful Nikki Haley doing a bit of backpedaling the criticism she is receiving after comments on the Civil War. And a bit later, being more active in the new year, it can be difficult because of our winter weather. Some tips for cold weather climate workouts. And in your first alert weather forecast, lots of people getting ready to have maybe an extended weekend with the New Year holiday fast approaching. What will the weather be like? David joins us next. Biden administration has announced it will be sending another $250 million in aid to Ukraine. The Pentagon, meanwhile, says it still needs Congress to approve more funding to help Ukraine defend its homeland from the Russians. Let's bring in KTTC's Washington correspondent tonight, Peter Zampa. Peter, tell us what the funding priorities are for lawmakers as they come back in the new year here.
Yeah, Brock, Ukraine chief among them. Remember, they were trying to hash out a deal on Ukraine and border security just before the holidays. Border security proved to be a little bit too tricky for both sides of the aisle to come together on, so they pushed it to the new year. But this is a request that's been outstanding from the Biden administration for months now. They wanted $110 billion, 60 of those to go to Ukraine, and then the rest to go to border security, Taiwan, and also Israel as they fight their war. It all proved too much for them to get done, so they're going to have to figure that out as soon as they get back. And the Pentagon made it clear this could be the last Ukrainian package we see out the door until Congress acts, because they're worried about the U.S. stockpiles and all the diving into those they've had to do to help out Ukraine. So they need to replenish on the homeland as they're worried about military readiness here. And beyond that, Congress also has to fund the government. The first tranche of funding is due January 19th. The second tranche, February 2nd. That's coming thick and fast for these lawmakers. You throw in the Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary to add distractions to all of this, and it's going to be quite the month for these lawmakers when they come back from the holiday recess.
You mentioned, Peter, those elections fast approaching. Let's talk about the latest from the campaign trail today, or the past couple of days, involving former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. She's been surging in the GOP primary polls, as we know. She's now wrapped up, though, in controversy after her response to a question about the Civil War. First, what did she say, and what has this fallout been like, Peter?
Yeah, Brock, sort of an unconscionable, unforced error from Nikki Haley, who really has been ascendant in polls, sort of that above the fray candidate that was attracting a lot of GOP support, especially in places like New Hampshire. So when this New Hampshire voter asked her what was the cause of the Civil War, and she did not say slavery, she said it was about people's freedoms and what they can and cannot do, I think a lot of jaws dropped, especially as we near the Iowa caucuses at this point in the primary process. For her to say something like that, it really just was unthinkable up to this point. She has since walked it back. She says, of course, slavery was the cause of the Civil War, but the damage had been done by the time she said that, allowing Vivek Ramaswamy and Ron DeSantis both to criticize her online and on the campaign trail, and for Joe Biden to even get involved on Twitter and to say, of course, it was about slavery. This, for Nikki Haley to do just weeks before the Iowa caucuses, really a wild error for someone who's relatively been error-free up to this point.
Yeah, we'll have to see what kind of impact that might have. KTTC Washington correspondent Peter Zampa reporting for us tonight. Peter, thanks so much. Other news across the country today. Paul Whelan is marking a grim milestone. 5 years as in a Russian detention center. Whelan was arrested in Moscow on December 28, 2018 on charges of espionage and was later sentenced to 16 years in prison. He has consistently denied those charges. In a phone conversation with CNN last week, the former U.S. Marine urged President Biden to, quote, pull out the stops and do whatever needed to be done to bring him home. Whelan also expressed fear for his safety. He said he is being targeted by an official at the prison camp and was assaulted by another prisoner there. Whelan also noted that he was concerned he would not see his parents again and that keeping his spirits up has become very difficult. He was designated as wrongfully detained by the U.S. State Department in May of 2020. Crews have started to demolish the house where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. University President Scott Green has said the off-campus rental in Moscow has been a grim reminder of the heinous act that took place there in November of 2022. Green has also said that the demolition will let the community start to heal. Alleged killer Brian Koberger has denied any wrongdoing, with not guilty pleas to first-degree murder charges entered on his behalf. Prosecutors in Idaho have proposed the summer 2024 start date in his murder trial. 2 of the victims' families asked prosecutors and university officials to pause the demolition for possible evidence, but the prosecutor said the current condition of the house is substantially different from when those murders took place.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist David Burgett.
Well, we are about ready to officially say goodbye to 2023, and we know it's been a warm year, right?
It's been a really warm year. A lot of our overnight lows this fall and winter were above average, and even our temperatures here, I think we've set about 18 new records so far in Rochester itself for
That's
this
a lot.
year for temperatures, at least. So
yeah.
It's been a lot, Brock.
You bet.
Yeah, we are seeing warmer temperatures right now for this time of year, or as we make our way to 2024. 31 degrees here in Rochester. Lots of overcast skies at the moment, and we are seeing a little bit of our feels like temperature that's going to be cooler than the actual air temperature right now, thanks to those northwestern winds for us right here. So we are going to be seeing temperatures into the 30s for us around the region, and we are going to be seeing a lot, those wind speeds going to have a lot more power to them because they're coming out of the northwest, and we're going to be seeing a lot of our wind speeds right now into the mid-teens for us and into the lower 20s around the region just in the last half hour or so. So our wind gusts over the course of tonight, we're going to be going from 24 miles per hour here during this hour to the upper teens, and then we are going to be dropping off to not have very high sustained wind gusts throughout tomorrow morning. So that's going to be the good thing. Our feels like temperatures should get a little bit better, but we are going to be still a little bit above average for us here. A lot of cloud cover around our region, really I-90 south right now, according to our surface map right now. We are going to have a lot of the snow showers going to move past our region and into central Iowa for us. Some of us may have seen a few flurries for today, but as we get into this weekend, we are going to be seeing a chance for some stray flurries as we go from Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then by next week, we are going to be seeing some milder temperatures and more sunshine in the forecast. So tracking this out for you tonight, we are going to be seeing those winds of the northwest, keeping our temperatures into the lower 30s for us around the region. Cloud coverage is sticking around for us across the region, temperatures into the upper 20s. And as we go through the early morning hours, we could be seeing a clearing according to this model run for our cloud coverage here by tomorrow afternoon and evening. We could be seeing temperatures into the mid to upper 30s for our high across much of our viewing area for tomorrow. So temperatures will be above average again for us by the time we get into Saturday morning. We are going to be seeing temperatures into the lower 30s, just where we are right now, and more winds out of the northwest for us, or to the west for us here. So our straight snow chance happens on Saturday night into Sunday. These are 2 models showing what could happen here. There's not a lot of agreement yet in terms on where the snow is going to fall. Basically, our first model here is showing some snowfall potentially along the some of our Mississippi River counties. So I would think this is more to a dusting for us here, but probably we could see the chance for some flurries into Saturday night, into Sunday morning too. And as we make our way to 2024, we are going to be seeing above average temperatures into the about 14 degrees above average for tomorrow, but sticking anywhere from about 7 to 10 degrees above average as we make our way into the new year on Monday here. So that's something to look forward to, I guess, is warmer temperatures. Not going to feel exactly like winter just yet. Even through tonight, we'll see temperatures into the lower 30s and even into the upper 20s as we make our way towards midnight. And for tomorrow, we'll see some decreasing clouds into the afternoon hours for more sunshine and above average temperatures into the upper 30s for us here. So over the course of this week, we are going to be seeing some more sunshine as we make our way into the new year. And we are going to be seeing some stray chance for some snow into this weekend too. So a little bit of snow, more sunshine for us, Brock.
Well, for people looking to ring in the new year by being out and about, not too bad as long as you dress for kind of normal weather conditions. Not going to be like Christmas where some people were getting by with shorts and a t-shirt.
Shorts, t-shirt, and an umbrella for them.
What a year it's been, right?
It's been kind of crazy, and for our weather here at least.
You bet. All right, David, we appreciate that. We hope you stay with us. We'll be right back.
Right now, rough weather on both coasts, including major flooding and evacuations in California and thousands of new flight delays. Plus, the new warning about counterfeit diabetes and weight loss drugs. How to protect yourself on Nightly News.
If being more active is a resolution for 2024, remember this, it is a year-long goal. Exercising is important to your health even when the temperatures go down. In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has cold weather workout tips.
Your 2024 health goals shouldn't take a break when it's cold outside.
Aside from the physical health benefits, outdoor exercise, especially in the winter, can help with things like reducing stress, anxiety, and depression, which we often see higher levels of during the winter months.
Sports medicine Dr. Michael Tiso with Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says exercising 12 months a year should be a part of your lifestyle, not a burden. To safely exercise in the cold, Tiso says to dress based on the temperature and your activity, but wearing layers is important.
They'd be starting with like a synthetic base layer, a middle fleece, and an outer insulated jacket, or a combination of a puffy warmth coat and an outer shell. The shell helps protect against rain and wind, and the inner puffy part of the jacket helps keep the warmth in.
Stay away from clothes made with cotton. Tiso says that material tends to trap moisture close to the skin. If it's really cold outside, he says to keep extremities like fingers, which are more vulnerable to frostbite, covered. And before you exercise, do a short 5 to 10 minute warm-up to get blood flowing to muscles.
Afterwards, after you're done exercising, a short cool down can help, and then sometimes stretching after exercise may be more effective than doing it before.
And watch out for sun exposure. You can still get sunburned in the winter, especially if it reflects off of snow. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Since it gets darker earlier in the winter months, Dr. Tiso says to make sure you wear reflective clothing or bring a flashlight so that you are visible to drivers who pass by when you're out exercising. We will be right back.
Welcome back. Here's a story for you. Wild monkeys that visit a zoo in southwestern Japan were given a warm gift: space heaters.
How about that? Take a look at this. Troops of monkeys that live near the Takasakayama Natural Zoological Garden are given food by caretakers at the facility. Every winter, they also have another reason to come to the zoo right there to stay warm during the cold weather. The zoo plans to keep those heaters out for the monkeys until March. We don't really need heaters around here these days, do we?
No, I mean, they're keeping warm and our temperatures are keeping us a little warm at least.
We'll take it, but the snow is needed definitely for those outdoor enthusiasts.
All right, we'll see more sunshine later this week as we head into the new year.
All right, thank you so much for making us a part of your evening. More local news at 6. Have a good night.